Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of On a Friday. On tonight's show, we've got an interview with Anthony Chapman, also known as DJ Scissor Kicks, formerly of Collapsed Lung, and also a live performance, an exclusive interview with Stereolab. The other day I got the chance to speak to DJ Scissor Kicks, also known as Anthony Chapman. We discussed life, the universe and everything, the merits of being on a small record label, and Polish jazz and bands that call themselves after hens. Anthony, how do you feel about the success of Eat My Goal, and did it open or close doors or help your career or hinder it in any way?
It hindered as much as it helped, and it closed as many doors as it opened. It was something. I don't regret doing it at all, but it was kind of, it was one of the last nails in the coffin for Collapsed Lung. So we were really struggling with the label we were on. They just didn't really, it's such a cliche, they didn't understand us. But they really didn't. And that was, once that came through, once Eat My Goal came through, that was all they were interested in. And they were trying to sell the album off the back of that. And it's an old song, it was on the first album. It was a nightmare, but you know, the PRS was nice, the royalties for getting played on the radio and everything. I can't complain about that, but it does get a bit tiresome. It's even now, like 3 years since it first came out, people coming up going, "Oh, you must be so loaded," you know. And it's like, well, I'm still living in Harlow, still living in the same house, you know, still driving the same car. That doesn't look like being loaded to me. But you know, no regrets. As Robbie Williams said.
Got a new album out as DJ Scissor Kicks. How do you think about your new album? And give us 3 reasons why someone should buy it.
Well, I'm really pleased with it. Been working on it for ages. It's a full-on dance record as opposed to songs like Collapsed Lung and like Junior Blanks is. 3 reasons why people should buy it. 1, the artwork's really great. That's not a very good reason. And 2, I just think it's a really tight album. It works. It's because I DJ all the time, and I'm not one of these DJs that's getting paid £750,000 a year like Pete Tong or Paul Oakenfold. So I'm sort of living in the real world, and I make my DJ Scissor Kicks records to play out when I DJ. So it's so many times, you know, I find myself, I don't buy very many albums of dance music. I just buy singles, and because a lot of dance music albums are just boring, because the artists think, oh, we've got to be really complex artists and do lots of different things and make it really arty, and you know, that's not what you want if it's dance music. Either it's dance music or it's something else. A third reason, because the third reason someone should buy it is because it's not on a big evil major label, and the money will, or a decent proportion of the money will come to me and the people that run the label, so it won't get filtered out and go to several fat cats that run the label like it did with Eat My Goal. So
you've got another project as well running, Junior Blanks, which is more of a sort of, coin the phrase, a proper band. Yeah. How does the DJ Scissor Kick stuff differ from Junior Blanks?
Junior Blanks is about songs, and there's a lot, and it's 2 ex-members of Collapsed Lung and me, and there's a lot more singing rather than rapping. Lots of harmonies. Stylistically, it's all over the place. It's not. Although Collapsed Lung later on, we really broadened our horizons musically, but it's all over the place. Everything from electro to country and western, hip hop to whatever. You know, it's and so in that respect, it's a lot less. It's using dance music kind of sounds, but we've still got the live bass. I've been playing a bit of guitar. There's lots of sort of live work going into it, and it's more listening music than dance music. It's meant to be enjoyed at home, you know, as opposed to in a club.
Right. So if a company wanted to use one of your songs, either DJ Scissor Kicks or Junior Blanks, what would be your answer in one definitive sentence?
Well, at the moment, it would probably be yes. As it has been already, because Junior Blanks, we've already got some. I mean, we've only had one single out, but we've already got a couple of tracks in films in America, just like little independent films. And also, I heard the other day, I'm pretty sure this is definite, that there's a Junior Blanks track on FIFA 2000 for the PlayStation as well. So, but again, you know, we're not Blur, who were on FIFA 99. We're not getting paid absolute bucket loads of money, but you know, there's nothing to lose really, as long as we've got plenty of material. And you know, you can, and sometimes it's good to write something. If somebody says they want to use it for an advert or a film or a game or whatever, it's good to be able to write something especially for it, rather than sort of throwing away one of your tracks. Because with Eat My Goal, if that had been like a new track, it would have just been such a waste, because at first everyone's like, yeah, the novelty of it's in the charts and whatever, and then there's the stigma comes down on it and people take the mickey out of it and whatever. So at the moment it'd probably be yes, unless it was like, I don't know, I'm probably not allowed to mention it, but if it was like McDonald's or something, I'd probably tell them to stick it.
Okay.
But then they'd come back with a huge offer and I'd get into a terrible moral dilemma.
What about other things in the music world? Anything over the last year that's particularly tickled your fancy?
Oh, quite a few things. I mean, this year in '99, the Atari Teenage Riot album, that's fantastic. I went to see them. They're one of the most exciting bands I've ever seen. Super Furry Animals album is absolutely stunning. I really think that might be album of the year. Basement Jaxx album as well. We just got some great, you know, Basement Jaxx, it's really good to hear somebody doing absolutely world-class dance music, someone who's British, someone from London more importantly as well. So yeah, lots. I mean, you know, there's lots of, being a DJ, I get sent lots of singles. So there's lots of tracks. But when I'm at home, I listen to albums. And when I'm in the car after DJing, I always listen to albums, and usually not dance music. But yeah, you know, it is quite exciting. There's still plenty of mediocrity, and that's most of what's truly successful. You know, in a sort of gold record sort of ways. In this country at the moment, it's pretty mediocre, which is a pity. But you know, it seems that people don't want to be challenged or offended in any way. So, you know, they'll go out and buy their Stereophonics albums and their Robbie Williams records and whatever, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's just not what I'm into. I think maybe I'm just too much of a train spotter about music. I'm much more hungry. I always want to get more out of it. But yeah, there's plenty.
So what does the future hold for Anthony Chapman?
My album will be out in July, and then I'm about 3/4 of the way through mixing the Junior Blanks album at the moment, because we're doing that all in our own studio. This is another thing that we decided after Collapse Lung. It was like, right, we could do everything off our own back. We're not going to have people paying for us to record, because then they can start to dictate, and then they start wasting loads of money, and 2 years later they go, oh, you haven't recouped, we're going to drop you. And it's like, well, you spent 40 grand on an album, you know. So get the Junior Blanks album out. Probably won't be out till next year. At the moment, all we know is it's probably going to come out through City of Angels in America, and then we're going to work out what we're going to do over here after that. Other than that, bits of remixing, production. I think I'm going to Poland in November to make a record with a crazy Polish jazz band, or as they call it in it's this special brand of jazz that they call Jazz. And it's like sort of modern Polish jazz.
You get all the good jobs, don't you?
Well, it's hardly glamorous down in Poland. I've been there 3 times already, but it is brilliant. It's a real laugh. I've made some really good friends there. This band I'm going to be working with, they're called Curie, which means hens. And I did this jazz festival. Me and this guy Tony Morley, who runs a label called Leaf, and they'd play, and we would DJ along to them. And then they'd stop playing and we'd DJ for a bit, and then they'd go and have a beer, and then they'd come back and start jamming along to whatever we were playing, and then we let them carry on. It was really good. And so I got a fax the other day saying, you know, about some DJ gigs, and saying, oh, Curie want to make a record, just like in 3 days or something, just get in the studio and just see what happens, really. So I might try and bring some of it back over here on multi-track, and then finish it all off in the studio. So it should be fun. They're nutters. They're absolute loonies.
Okay, let's do the plug.
That's the album.
That's the album. Out and buy it, called Video Computer System.
It's on Fused and Bruised Records, out in July, and I think you'll like it. It's available on CD as well. It's just the vinyl looks nicer for the camera.
Anthony, thanks very much,
No
and
problem.
we'll be hearing from you again in the future, no doubt.
Oh, I'm sure.
Good luck in Poland.
Thank you.
With your hens. That's the interview. Now let's hear what he sounds like. This is DJ Scissor Kicks. Clap your hands.
This is
DJ Scissor Kicks.
And as you probably already know, the sound of my voice is an insult to the entire digital community.
Coming up after the break, we've got exclusive live performances and a live interview with the wonderful Stereolab. Good evening and welcome back to On a Friday. Letitia and Simon from Stereolab have been kind enough to take 10 minutes out just before they play their set to have a brief chat with me, which is quite nice of them. How are things going in Stereolab at the moment?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yes. We finished recording an album.
Excellent.
And we started hitting the road again. Hence Harlow. Some new stuff.
You've got your own record label, Geophonic. Any new releases expected on that in the future?
Let me see. What have we got coming out on Geophonic? We've had a lot of stuff just come out, and now we're gonna. Well, actually, we might do a record by Tide and Tickle Trio, who are German band from Munich, and just a bit like. There's a Chicago scene, you know, people playing like 4 or 5 bands each, and it's kind of everyone overlaps, you know, under different setups. It's the same thing happening in Munich, basically. And they also play in a band called No Twist, which is very, very good band, and which actually we're gonna tour together in the UK. In October, I think. So Tide and Tickle Trio might be coming out.
Tomorrow, I believe, you're supporting REM at Earl's Courts.
Not at all, no.
Oh, come on, you are, please.
Okay, we are,
okay, thank you, I've admitted it.
At 7:30.
7:30?
Yeah.
What's it like playing such a big venue such as that compared to a small venue such as this? What are the main differences you see?
No differences, really.
Oh, you can't even begin to compare the two,
Well, I don't think so.
It's like saying, which one do you prefer, the studio experience or the live experience? Well, you can't really compare. I mean, here there's obviously a level of intimacy, which, you know, makes it more edgy and exciting, but yet again not necessarily so, but it's easier, I don't know, it's more contained and intimate, and from that intimacy, you know, a lot more things that may happen, or more intense things. And you can tell this is a great venue. You can tell people in Harlow must see so many good shows, you know, because it just has the right vibe, it's the right size, and, you know, it's direct, it's good. Yes, our single. Would you like to talk about our single, Simon?
Not sure. You talk about the single.
Oh, what's it called?
Well, I know what the working title is, but I'm not sure what that is.
It's Free Design. Yeah, we're gonna have a single. You know, the usual single coming out before the album comes out, heralding the album, the Free Design single. It's pretty good, actually.
It's excellent.
Yeah. No, it's
compliment.
alright.
You recently collaborated, talking about the studio, with Mouse on Mars.
Yes.
How did that go? Any plans to go with them in the future as well?
No, I'd love to work with them again. Yeah. Actually, I write some of my own songs. I'm writing nursery rhymes. Well, I was given a book of nursery rhymes in French, and I've been putting them to music. Well, I've got 6 of them now. But I'd like to go back with Andy in Düsseldorf and record with him. And he's got kids as well, so he'd probably be well into the idea of doing that. Because a lot of nursery rhymes, I mean, or like records for kids, they're really awful. The music really stinks, you know. It's just a disgrace. It's not because they're kids that, you know, they deserve bad music. So we'll try and correct that somehow.
We'll be on touring in sort of autumn and the winter. There's no really plans to record, are there, really?
In the winter and the spring.
And the spring. So there's a big long tour coming up.
Any idea where else we can find you?
All over the place.
All over the place.
That's right.
Watch this space.
Thanks very much for letting us talk to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Your
having
busy
us.
schedule. Okay. Let's take a look at the up-and-coming acts of tomorrow. This is the 1998 Rock Contest winners widescreen and a performance recorded live at the Square in Harlow.
His next song is called Save Yourself.
Help is on its way, I swear. We all could use it. Don't waste your time. Emotional. Don't hold your breath. What was your intention on that day in question? Gridlock hides round every corner. There's no turning back. You're getting faster and faster. Save yourself. Save yourself. For this is the last thing you'll ever do. Save yourself from you. Now is all around you that is way behind you. Identify emotional weakling. Pain will find you. There's no point in seeking it out. Save yourself. Save yourself. For this is the last thing you'll ever do. For this is the last thing you'll ever do. I can't say a new beginning. I seek it for the shield around me. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, it feels good. Feels like I might have saved myself. Saved myself. For this is the last thing you'll ever do. Save yourself from you. Thank you very much.
Go on, give us a cheer, go on. Thanks a lot, cheers.
That's just about it for this week for On a Friday on Red TV. Join us next time for some more of the same.
Don't